Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, and proud to have in studio right now Rusty Scarborough, once again from the Walter Jacobs Nature Park on Blanchard Fir Road.
Yep, just outside of Blanchard.
And you got a big night coming up. Is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, 5 to 8. It's going to be awesome.
Well, tell me about it. What is it?
10th annual Owl Night, is that right?
Owl Night open house. It's what we thought we'd do is get our owls out. You know, every time you come to the park, they're on display. But for once a year, we take all of our owls and we put our handlers out on the trails, and you can get close and personal with no obstruction between you and the owl.
So how many are there? How many owls will be roaming free?
We have 3 on display at our facility, but a nature center that I used to work for in Arkansas, Delta Rivers Nature Center, has loaned us their barn owls. So this year we will have all 4 of the most common owls that appear in Louisiana.
You brought one with you.
Owls are carnivorous creatures, if memory serves.
They are. They only eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and
so you keep it on that side of the room. Right now it's in a black box.
Look at the glove he's got on.
Rusty has a big owl glove on his hand.
He is wearing a glove that it's the kind of glove that I call like isotope hands.
It's going to take him a minute to get it out.
If you're going to handle radiation, okay, if you're going to handle M6 propellant, these are the gloves you would wear.
Here comes the owl.
It's called a gauntlet.
Gauntlet, okay.
Erin had asked earlier before, you can go ahead and grab it. It's a lengthy question, as are most of mine. Erin had asked earlier about the owl. She said, so Rusty, what's the owl's name? And you said, we don't name our owls. Why is that? Or any animals like that?
Well, all of the animals that we have at the park are wild animals, and wild animals do not make good pets. These are non-releasable rehab animals that cannot go back into the wild due to some injury or because they've been raised in captivity by people, so they cannot be returned to the wild.
Look at the claws on that. Gary, what's the term?
Diodactyl.
Diodactyl? I'm sure you're familiar with that.
That is amazing.
Zygodactylus.
That's a boy.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means 2 toes in the front, 2 toes in the back. So owls, ospreys, and woodpeckers have zygodactylus toe arrangement.
Gotcha.
Will he just sit there on your hand?
He needs a petty. I'm just looking at those claws right now. We need a trim there, Bubba.
How old is he?
This bird is about 4 years old, if I remember correctly.
Okay, and you have had him since he was a baby, or?
It came to us from another rehab facility. It was a blowdown. It blew out of a nest when it was still a fuzzy chick. So it's been raised in captivity, and it has no natural fear of humans, which wild owls do. Mm-hmm. So that bird cannot go back into the wild because as it became mature and opened up a territory,
right?
If it thinks it looks like you might be run out of its territory.
How many different species of owls are there? How many different kinds? Do you know?
I love this when someone asks one of those questions.
What's the biggest one?
What's the
biggest one? What's the smallest one?
The elf owl is the smallest one.
I figured that out myself.
And the largest one is the Eurasian eagle owl.
How big is that? And where does this guy fall into the...
This is the great horned owl. And in birds of prey, the females are 1/3 larger than the males. So this is a male great horned owl. A female could get up approaching 5 pounds. A Eurasian eagle owl can be up there in the 6.5.
Are we going to be able...
Wait, you say he eats meat. What do you feed him?
Bad children.
So send your children out to Walter Jacobs tomorrow.
I said bad children now. Okay. All the good children are welcome. No, we just kind of play around a little bit when people ask that question.
Yes.
These great horned owls eat large rodents, so usually rats, mice, rabbits, squirrels. Great horned owls are the major predator of skunks, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the smell does not bother them.
Okay.
What they do is they crush and, did I get this right? Crush and choke their prey, squash them all up. Then they eat them sort of like just bit by bit, and then they eat it all and then vomit up the bones. Did I get that right?
They cast up a pellet. So, yeah, some people call it vomit. It's really not vomit. It's like garbage disposal. They kind of take out the trash. Anything that is not digestible, like feather, fur, or bones, is collected in a pellet, and then that's cast up about 12 hours later.
How close tomorrow night from 5 to 8 at Walter B. Jacobs Nature Park, how close will the kids be able to get to the owls?
Well, certainly they won't be allowed to touch the owls.
Right.
Are we going to be able to do a selfie here in a minute?
Absolutely.
Oh, that'll be great.
Within arm's distance, we just don't want anyone to, if the bird were to bait to try to fly away, we don't want anybody to get scratched or injured. We don't want anybody to get bitten. So only the handlers will be handling them. But yeah, you can get close and take pictures.
Can you touch him? Will he let you pet him on his little?
Well, he certainly doesn't like it. Like I said, it's a wild animal, so they don't like being petted. I do have to handle him and put the equipment on him, the jesses and the cuffs, so I try to accustom him to being handled.
Speaking of cuffs, but enough about Erin.
He is absolutely gorgeous, and we're going to put a video up here shortly and some photos. This beautiful owl, and again, how many owls will you have out there tomorrow?
We will have 4. We will have the barn owl, the barred owl, the great horned owl, and the eastern screech owl.
Rusty Scarborough from the Walter Jacobs Nature Park. It's on Blanchard Fir Road. The address is 8012-8012.
And it's all free.
And it's all free.
If Mom and Dad want to go out to Valentine's dinner, can they drop the kids off at the park, go have dinner, and come back and get them?
No.
Just trying.
It's
Stay
a
with
family
your kids.
event.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean, you're going to be at dark in the park. We don't want to, like I said, we have to feed these animals. So any leftovers that are still there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Rusty, can't thank you enough for coming in. Absolutely a gorgeous animal.
Thank you for having us.
Good question there, Ms. 60 Minutes.
Yeah, just thinking.
Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, Keel News Radio time is 8:29.